What's going on, everyone? Adam here, back with another banger of a video. In this one, we got an exciting case study here with a Shopify brand. It went from zero to $287,000 in just 3 months. Yes, that's right, just 3 months. It was very incredibly quick growth. So yeah, we're gonna dive into everything, the month by month breakdown of, how much was spent, how much was brought back, all that sort of stuff, and just break down, ad account structure, the plan up next, all that sort of stuff. So stay tuned. It's going to be an exciting one. But yeah, first things first, if you haven't heard of me before, my name is Adam Matthews, running a growth e-commerce agency. We basically are a partner with 24 direct consumer brands and helping them grow their revenue profitably and also quickly, as you can see here, and really specializing in acquiring new customers, essentially for the brand. So let's dive into it, shall we? So basically what happened was, this store was started in December. You can see here basically around December 19th or so. Did $1,600 in sales and was, spent $963. Now, we weren't involved in this. Basically what happened is, in the new year here, starting the new year, new me, January, he ended up booking a call with me right through one of these videos here, watching the videos. And if you haven't had a chat with me before, you got an e-commerce brand, what are you doing? Came in, booked in with me, and we ended up getting things started here in January. So you can see here, this is the first month that we started with him. I think we started kind of around like early January. It was like January. It was early January. I forgot exactly when, but in total, so he had some campaigns already running. He was kind of growing. And to be honest, at first, I was a little bit skeptical when I saw the AOV, and I was like, ooh, I don't know. But then I saw the conversion rate, and then we started looking at the revenue per session, which I'll get into in a second. I was like, okay, we got something here on our hands. So I'll get to that in a second why. But yeah, so basically you can see here, second month, basically the whole brand, when we kind of got started, did $39,000 in January here this year. And you can see here, spent $15,872 on the account combined with, some of the campaigns that were already running and then the campaigns that we ended up launching as well. And then basically his target was $100K a month, was when we filled out the onboarding questionnaire. That was really his goal. And we're like, come on, man, that's too easy. I already did that the first full month with them. You can see here, basically in February, spent $43,000 in total, brought back $124,000. This is basically the only channel we're running. And then the following month, in March, basically last month, spent $107,000 and brought back $287,000. So just rocket ship growth. Pretty crazy, but yeah, that's there's a lot of potential here. In terms of the product characteristics, just to kind of help you guys out. One is mass market. Obviously, can't tell you what the product is. Two is solves a problem. We find that problem-solving products are easier to scale. They're easier to market. Like, at the end of the day, if someone has a problem, it's just and you highlight it really, really well, and you show the solution. Very, very easy to market, very easy to scale. But also having some sort of unique selling point matters so much, and this one has that. It just makes such a big difference. There's something unique about it. Makes a big difference. So you combine all three of these. That's why That's why I think we're able to have such fast growth, is because the product, in my opinion, product is always number one before even marketing. To be honest, at the end of the day, that's literally what you're selling. So the product is so crucial. It's the 80-20 rule. It's such a big, obviously you got to be good at marketing and do all these other things well. In my opinion, that's why we look at growth holistically. You got to look at everything, and that's what we do with the brands we work with. So that's obviously a big thing. Now, in terms of the unit economics, this is what I was a little bit skeptical on at first when I saw when we kind of started chatting. I saw the AOV was $34. I was like, $34. We usually look for above 50, but then when we dug into everything, basically found out the conversion rate is above 5%, which is very, 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 very healthy. So 5.37%. And then when we take a look at the revenue per session, the way you find that is you take the revenue and you divide that by the sessions, was $1.97, which is super healthy. It's basically about $2. So every visitor that comes is worth about $2. And then when you're driving traffic, on average for about 88 cents or so, you got yourself a profitable business, fundamentally. So that's the thing about it. It's just harder to have a good revenue per session, when you have such a low AOV. But then, if we only had like a 1 or 2% conversion rate, unless there was like a lot of things that we could do on the product page to really help improve that, we're not looking good. But the fact that it was, above 5% is very, very, very solid. So that allows us to, have that. And then decent margins as well too. So we had a max CPA target of, cost per acquisition target of $20. So that's basically what it looked like. Now, in terms of revenue per session, that's like the golden metric, I guess you could say. We have some clients that are around like $5. So it allows you to scale quite a bit and quite aggressively when it's so healthy. And that's usually happens on the higher AOV products, $100, $200, $300, give or take. So yeah, that's really something to note. But then of course, you want to have great ads and you want to have great structure, everything like that, for getting traffic at an affordable clip. But the right traffic, of course, that's a very, very important part. Next up, ad account structure. Now for this one here, we actually kept it very, very, very simple. We actually just had one broad campaign for each country, and we just tested 1 to 2 DCTs per week. Now, basically for the DCTs, it was actually just all video ads. So we tested basically 3 video ads per ad set, and then did a few different ad copy for each and different variables with that to test that out as well. And for the countries, we launched out in US, Canada, UK, and Australia. And then basically if we were below $20, we just raised budget by 20% a day. That was basically how we kind of did it. Very, very simple, to be honest, so far to achieve this. So you can see here, basically last month, we had Canada, US, UK, Australia. US and Australia, UK and Australia, we ended up pausing. It was just getting a lot, actually, obviously last month, and then basically this month, here in April, we're going to have to come back to the drawing board with better ads. I think that's why and then we're going to come back to it. But as of right now, Canada, US is really our main markets right now. We just love North America, but UK and Australia, we'll be back. We'll be back for sure. In terms of the ads, literally just all video content. So I was basically just doing all of the bulk of the marketing, basically all video content. Now we're obviously going forward going to be testing a ton of statics, carousels, all that good stuff, but that's really what it was. And also high volume. We literally launched 60 videos in a few months with different demographics and genders talking about the product. So yeah, that's really what it came down to. Is just really launching a ton of different videos. I actually have a friend that I was talking with, working with another brand. And they were stuck at around 200 grand a month or so for a while. And then basically what they ended up doing is they ended up working with a few creative agencies, and then they just ended up pumping, I forget what it was. I think it was like 75 videos a month. It was somewhere around that. It was just a ton of ads. And now the brand basically is doing over $1 million a month. Of course, there's more things to it, but sometimes you just got to do a lot of volume to really scale. And just like, in e-commerce, you kind of almost have to look at yourself like a media company. You just need a lot of content. And the thing about content is just you can squeeze so much juice out of the content. Not only could it be used for ads, you can also use it, for your organic socials, Instagram, TikTok, what have you, Facebook, if you're, still posting on there, email, you can use it for your website. Like, it's just there's so much that you can squeeze out with that content. So just, if you're getting a lot of content, you could just never go wrong. It's just really one of the main keys. So yeah, honestly, just for yourself as a media company and really just pump out a lot of content is really the thing here. Even when I'm doing my business here, I'm trying to pump out content, And lastly, we'll finish on the plan next. One is to start sourcing creators with the best performing demographics. So we're going to take a look at, ethnicities, demographics, everything like that, and just kind of find the most profitable little segments there, and really kind of just try to replicate that with, a ton of more creators to really expand out. Now, in terms of sourcing creators, I've spoken about this previously. There's a few different platforms. We have an Incense platform subscription. I'd really, really recommend them. Really, really good. Hashtag paid is also another one. We have experience with that one as well too. This one you can whitelist as well too, so you can actually grab their creator handle and whitelist through it. You can also create your own pages and just whitelist yourself, but it's so easy, pops in there. There's also platforms like Billo and stuff like that. I'm just not the biggest fan of it. And then there's also, creative agencies as well too. I find that, if you look at some of the biggest brands, they'll be working with multiple creative agencies and just be pumping content. So that's really honestly the main key. So that's really the plan next year. Also make iterations, variations off of the winning ads. So, taking all the winning ads and just like kind of split testing, 3 different captions on on the hook to start with that. Another variation that we can make is kind of basically taking the main video clip and then, splicing in different content, kind of throughout the rest of the video. So, keeping the hook the same, the winning hook, and then basically testing different content throughout it. In terms of variations, maybe taking that same kind of concept in terms of, the demographic and ethnicity of the person using, and then grab that as a photo with the same kind of hook on there, as an example, or taking that and kind of creating it as in a carousel, that same kind of story essentially. So kind of making variations off the winning ads and kind of expanding it like that and try to squeeze more juice out of all the content. And then up next as well too, expand to more channels. If you just saw my last video, kind of explaining that. So Google, Pinterest and Snapchat and TikTok, I think are also just based off the product and the audience, I think can do really, really well. Now, I think with platforms like Pinterest, Snapchat, TikTok, excuse me, a lot more top of funnel. So it's just going to allow it to get a lot more eyeballs on the brand and really kind of scale out. Because I think with Meta, at a certain point, it almost becomes a bit of a middle funnel. I think, depending on the industry and the niche and the audience size and stuff like that, once you pass like 8 figures, you kind of just need more eyeballs on the brand. So this is going to allow us to kind of get a good base on there. And then obviously with AOV, TikTok does better with a lower AOV product. So I think that could be a really, really good channel as well. And then lastly as well, is really working on improving the AOV and the returning customer rate. So obviously we're only going to be able to scale so far with the current AOV of $34. We're going to have to be adding more products to cross-sell, upsell, and really bump up the AOV. And also the returning customer rate is very, very low. So working on improving that as well too. This is going to drive a lot of profit, improving the returning customer rate. Obviously, the conversion rate is obviously very, very solid. So it's not really the bottleneck. I would say the AOV right now is the main bottleneck, and also the returning customer rate. So these two can just be massively improved. And yeah, that's going to just help drive a lot more scalability, a lot more growth. So yeah, doing that. And then just testing different bundles, split testing different things. If you are looking to do different split tests, I would look at an app like this, IntelliGems, really one of the best split testing tools for Shopify brands. And basically allows you to just A/B test anything in your site. Originally, it was made for just pricing, but then it became so much more. And then obviously they've split tested their pricing. So maybe by the time you see this, they change their pricing. They're probably constantly, it's literally a split testing tool. They're probably split testing their own pricing on it. So that's the thing about it. So I'd look at that. But then obviously you need enough like sessions coming in for it to be worth it. And obviously for you to get enough statistical significance for it to make sense. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, if you are looking to kind of do some split testing, for kind of cross-selling, for bundling to bump up the AOV or improving conversion rate, I would definitely check out a tool like that. But yeah, that basically about concludes the video. So hopefully you learned a few things off of this, kind of just like bang, 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 knocked out the main points. I'll keep posted on this one here, but yeah, hopefully you enjoyed watching that video. And if you are interested in kind of working with us and experiencing lightning fast growth like this, not saying you promise this. This is really, really fast growth. But yeah, you basically came right through YouTube, watched these videos, and ended up booking a call. So yeah, if you have an e-commerce brand, you have some sort of proof concept, feel free to book a chat with me and we can kind of sit down, go through everything. We'll see if it makes sense for us to kind of collaborate and take you to the next level here. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for watching. Drop a like, drop a comment, any questions you guys have about this. And yeah, we will see you in the next video. Cheers for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Cheers.